May 3rd is a dark day for the people of Manipur. This is a day that saw the rise of violence in the state, wherein people from both the Meitei and the Kuki community have lost their lives. As per official estimates, more than 250 people have lost their lives and countless number of people have been injured. May 3, 2025 marks 2 years of the horrific violence in Manipur that has seen both the Meitei and the Kuki community divided across buffer zones established by the state. This is a time of mourning. This is a time of looking back at all the lives and the tragedy that has surfaced in the state of Manipur. We saw similar processions yesterday in Manipur by both the Meitei and the Kuki community. In the Imphal Valley, the Manipur People's Convention, led by numerous CSOs, eminent personalities and leaders of the valley, came out along with lakhs of people on the ground. They talked about the issues plaguing Manipur and also remembered the lives that has been lost over the last 2 years. They have also taken out a resolution. This resolution is a demand by the public that if the resolution is not fulfilled, we can expect similar protests again on the grounds of Manipur.
Resolutions that, number one, the integrity of the state, the historical identity and the political identity of this state cannot be compromised at any cost. Are the IDP's demand. That is, today is the mark of 2 years completion, and it cannot be further extended to 3 years. And the government of India should set a time frame, where they must ensure that all IDPs who have been displaced from their respective homes should return to their homes as soon as possible, and they must be compensated fairly so that they can restart and rebuild their families and livelihoods.
Similarly, a contrast has been seen in the Kuki side. We saw similar processions and demonstrations in the Churachandpur district and the Kangpokpi district in Manipur, where thousands came out in large numbers. There was a remembrance day being done in Kangpokpi district, wherein people mourned the losses of those who lost their lives in the last 2 years. It was also a day called a day of separation because it marks the separation of both the communities, the Meiteis largely limited to the valley and the Kukis limited to the hills. Further, the CSO led by the Kotu have talked about separation between the two communities, and we all know that the political demand for a separate administration looms large in the Kangpokpi and the Kuki dominated areas in Manipur.
Separation Day by the Kuki-Meitei community marks the painful day of severance from the Meitei community in Manipur. 2 years have passed, but the wounds of May 3rd, 2023 still remains and bleed within us. The world may have moved on, but we cannot. Separation Day is not just a memorial, it is a cry from shattered souls. It marks a tragic and irreversible rupture in our relationship with the Meitei community. We mourn our dead, honor our heartbroken, and declare to the world that we can no longer coexist with those who burn our lives, our houses to ashes. Any flicker of reconciliation died in the scream of our people. May 3rd, 2023 is carved into our memory as the day of coordinated program. A brutal attempt to erase us, our villages were set ablaze, our people murdered, our women paraded and raped in humiliation. These are not random acts, they were deliberate, merciless, and unforgivable attempts to destroy our very existence from the land we once called our home. The day does not just represent physical displacement, it represents betrayal of broken trust and pain too deep to be silenced. We cry for justice, we plead for recognition, and we demand a future, a union territory with legislature where the Kuki-Meitei people will finally live with dignity. Thank you.
So this is a contrast which has been seen by both the communities as it marks 2 years of the violence. But the saddest part of the entire conflict is those people who have to be displaced from their own homes. We spoke to a lot of those people who had to escape the hillside and came back to the valley and are now staying in the relief camps.
My name is Leksanthe Minaucha. I am the chairman of the Committee on Protection of Meitei Victims, मोरे in short COMEF. तो मैं ये कहना चाहता है कि हम 2 साल आज हो चुका है, हमने अपना घर खो गया और हमारी परिवार जो है अभी रिलीफ कैंप पे हम लोग बैठा है। तो आज 2 साल होने तक में भी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक भी पॉजिटिव रेस्पॉन्स आज तक हम लोग को नहीं मिल रहा है। हम क्या खा रहा है, क्या जी रहा है, हमारे बच्चा का भविष्य क्या होगा, तो हम लोग का फ्यूचर के लिए हम लोग आज दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है। हम लोगों का बच्चा के लिए क्या होगा 2 साल में, कि अभी इस समय पे हम लोग को बच्चा को इनकी फ्यूचर के लिए हम बनाना था, लेकिन अब तो कि हम लोग भिखारी की तरह अपना स्टेट में अपना जगह पे हम लोग रिलीफ कैंप में अभी फॉरेनर का तरफ बैठा हुआ है। तो मैं सरकार से ये गुजारिश करना चाहता है कि हम लोग को जल्द से जल्द अपने अपने जगह पे हम लोग को ले जाकर पहले की तरह हम लोग को दोबारा अपना मुड़े पे ले जाकर हम लोग वापस रीसेटलमेंट कीजिएगा। ये गवर्नमेंट को भी हम एक चीज़ हम कहना चाहता है।
These are the IDPs, internally displaced persons from both the Kuki and the Meitei communities. The Meitei communities had to flee from the hill areas largely to the valley now, and the Kuki Zoo community also had to flee from the valley to the hills. And we saw a divide yesterday, and also those people from the relief camps talked about how their lives have been stopped following the violence, and they have urged the Indian government to solve this matter as quickly as possible.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.